truly, guys, the tag team division for the women kicks off tonight. Charlotte and Sasha Banks, the future and the present, happening tonight. Bailey and Mickey James getting into the ring to celebrate with the new champions, as well as Lita and Trish Stratus. Nobody leaves as a loser in this. After this match, ladies and gentlemen, everyone is a winner, and also some divas who are watching this match backstage. They come to the ring to celebrate with everybody, because this isn't just a victory for one team, it is a victory for the entire women's division. This changes the face of the women's division alongside the WWE Women's Championship. We'll find out what happens, what's the way forward coming out of this match, ladies and gentlemen. Charlotte and Sasha Banks, your new and your very first WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And we move on to match number 4. Another huge match. That's 6 versus 6 team elimination battle match. Evolution X, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Batista, and the New Age Outlaws taking on Team Edge and Christian, who are joined by The Rock, Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, and the Destroyer, Bobby Lashley, in this massive match that takes place all over the arena. Pinfalls and submissions everywhere, anywhere and everywhere around the arena. There are referees stationed everywhere, so they're there to call those pinfalls and those submissions, eliminate your opposing team, the entire team, to win the match. Could this be Evolution X's last stand, or will Team Edge and Christian fall apart in this match? Will they be destroyed by Evolution X? Find out as this match kicks off, with Edge and Christian breaking away to take on Batista and Ric Flair, while the People's Champion, The Rock, and the Game, Triple H, they square off in the middle of the squared circle, while Kurt Angle and the Heartbreak Kid, they take their fight into the crowd, leaving the New Age Outlaws to face Rob Van Dam and Bobby Lashley. Now you remember, guys, Edge is not 100% after being attacked on Raw by DX just before that 6-man contract ladder match, and because he's still not 100%, that would come to bite him in this match, because Ric Flair, he notices, he's aware that Edge is not 100%. He takes advantage of that, working on Edge while Batista and Christian are fighting just nearby. The trick or the strategy that the Nature Boy is working on is to weaken Edge, while Batista, he weakens Christian, and when they've weakened them enough, they swap partners. So you have Batista now with an easy task of wearing down the Rated R superstar who's been weakened by Ric Flair, and Ric Flair, he works on Christian. Now, it doesn't take long for Batista to find his opening on Edge, laying him out with the Batista bomb and making the very first elimination of the evening. Edge taken out by Batista, while Christian left to take on Ric Flair and Batista in a 2-on-1 situation. He fights hard, he fights back, but the numbers game is too much for him. In the end, the Nature Boy locks in the figure 4 on Captain Charisma, but he will not tap out. He will not give up. He wants to stay in this match and support his team, but he will not tap out. This leads to Batista having no choice but to knock him out with a massive chair shot. Captain Charisma taken out, not willing to tap out, taken out instead. Ric Flair going for the cover to eliminate Christian, making it elimination number 2 in favor of DX. It is 6 men now against 4 remaining guys. You've got ECW guys, Rob Van Dam and Bobby Lashley, bringing that extreme hardcore style into this match against the New Age Outlaws. They're fighting near the ring area, so that gives them access to plenty of weapons. You've got your kendo sticks, you've got your steel chairs, maybe even a ladder. You can toss that in, everything, even weapons, not weapons, but stuff from the crowd signs, titles, everything. They've got tools at their disposal against the New Age Outlaws, who have to adapt to this style, and they go extreme as well, fighting back Rob Van Dam and Lashley with weapons of their own. We move into the crowd where HBK and Kurt Angle, fists are flying between these two guys, the crowd having to make a circle between them, not wanting to get too close to the action, but HBK, he decides to take it back to the ringside area, knocking out the Olympic gold medalist with a sweet chin music over the barricade, bringing him back to the ringside area. Shawn Michaels getting to him as well. He gets some help from Ric Flair and Batista showing up, having eliminated Edge and Christian. They team up with Shawn Michaels on Kurt Angle. This ropes in Rob Van Dam and Lashley, teaming up with their pal Kurt Angle against those three guys. The New Age Outlaws, not willing to be left out, they join in to make it 5 against 3. Triple H and The Rock take their action outside, realizing what's going on, and you've got yourself a massive brawl at ringside. DX6 versus Team Edge and Christian. 4 guys remaining. All of a sudden, members of Team Edge and Christian, they are falling out of nowhere. They're dropping like flies. Why? Because the Intercontinental Champion, Randy Orton, has shown up for his team. He may have competed earlier, but he's come into this match. He's made himself a factor. He's got some energy left to help his team out, making it 7 against 4, ladies and gentlemen. Team Edge and Christian overwhelmed now, with Orton making his appearance. The Rock busted open with a sledgehammer from the game, and Ric Flair joins his pal Triple H to gang up on The Rock, bringing him back into the ring for a pedigree onto a steel chair, emphasizing that point before they make that elimination. Triple H eliminates The Rock, making it elimination number 3 in favor of DX. The New Age Outlaws and Batista, they work on Bobby Lashley, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels, he also gets involved, bringing Lashley down with the sweet chin music before Batista, assisted by the New Age Outlaws with a, you would say, triple power bomb style Batista bomb through the Spanish announcement table. Lashley out. Rob Van Dam, Kurt Angle taken down with RKOs from Orton. But Batista and the New Age Outlaws are not done. After doing that power bomb and realizing that the crowd, they know what they've just done, a nod to a certain stable, they decide to do the ultimate insult, doing that all too familiar 3-fist bump pose, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as they hit that pose, the music hits, ladies and gentlemen. You know what it is. Sierra, Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield. It takes DX a couple of seconds to realize just what is going on. The music has started. They know what's going down. They check the entrance area. Nothing. They check the crowds. There's nothing. Where are these guys? They didn't notice that they just popped up right behind the announce team. The Hounds of Justice, the Shield, are in this match now. Roman Reigns coming into the scene, blasting the animal Batista with a spear from out of nowhere, while Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, they take out the New Age Outlaws. There's a moment between Roman Reigns and Lashley. Lashley is on the ground still, down by the Spanish announce table. Roman Reigns, he sees him. Lashley, he sees him. There's a moment. The crowd is wondering what happens next. What is going to happen until Roman Reigns, he extends a hand to Lashley, getting him up, and the crowd, they're more than excited. The Shield are here to assist Edge and Christian, or are they? Do they have their own agenda against DX? What is the story? Orton looking to spoil this special moment, looking for that RKO. Instead, he's laid out by a Superman punch from Roman Reigns, while Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, they turn their attention onto Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. Triple H getting involved as well to help his friends against Ambrose and Rollins. This gives Rob Van Dam and Kurt Angle time to recover. With Kurt Angle, he's stalking the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, laying him down with the Angle Slam and locking in that ankle lock. Rob Van Dam, of course, is still going extreme, gets back into the ring, lays out the table before going back out to bring Ric Flair into the ring, taking their fight in there. And before you know it, the Nature Boy on that table, Rob Van Dam, climbs to the top turnbuckle, coming down with the 5-star frog splash through the Nature Boy and that table, as the Heartbreak Kid, unable to reach anywhere, taps to the ankle lock from Kurt Angle. RVD eliminating the Nature Boy, Ric Flair as well. DX have just suffered 2 eliminations right there. Lashley, having recovered, helped by Roman Reigns, he goes off to pin Batista, who was taken down by Roman Reigns when the Shield finally made their presence known. That's another elimination against DX. This leaves the game Triple H and the New Age Outlaws. Lashley making sure that Randy Orton is no longer a factor, spearing the Intercontinental Champion through one of the barricades, taking him out of this match completely. He's no longer a factor. Kurt Angle and Rob Van Dam, they work on the New Age Outlaws. They take them out, leaving the Hounds of Justice to stalk the game back into that ring, because it is time for some payback. The game, despite having a sledgehammer, he's no match for the Shield. They break him down. They bring him out of his comfort zone, and they take him out of this match with that triple power bomb. They're not done there. With an insult to the game, DX chop to the down to Triple H. Rob Van Dam coming in to make that final and winning pin, having just taken out the New Age Outlaws. With Kurt Angle, he pins the game for that 1, 2, 3, and Team Edge and Christian, they defeat D-Evolution X with the help of the Shield. Ladies and gentlemen, we did not see this coming. Where did the Shield come in? Why did they get involved in this match? Is it because they have history with Evolution? Or did Edge and Christian reach out to them during the week prior to this big match? We'll find out on Monday Night Raw. Hopefully we'll find out why the Shield, they came to Extreme Rules on the side of Edge and Christian, giving them an edge for that win, despite Edge and Christian being the first 2 guys eliminated from this match. There you go, guys. The last guys standing, Rob Van Dam, Kurt Angle, and Bobby Lashley. They win the match for Team Edge and Christian. And then we move on to some more tag team action, this time for the WWE Tag Team titles, the rematch from WrestleMania, the champions Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy against the Prime Time Players. Now, these teams have spent this past month making things personal. They've been taking on great tag teams, building up to this encounter here at Extreme Rules, but also they started that Legends Challenge, taking on Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, and the Brothers of Destruction. And despite both the champions and the challengers being unable to defeat those 2 teams on their own, they would team up against Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, and the Brothers of Destruction on the last SmackDown, and they defeated them there and then. That was the big main event. They would be on the same side just before this encounter here at Extreme Rules. But this time, the Primetime Players, they are fresh, they are ready, as compared to how they were at WrestleMania, having just gone through 4 other teams before Enzo Amore and Big Cass show up to fight them. And that's exactly how the champions wanted to face the former champions on even ground. They face them while they are healthy and set for this match. And also consider that they defeated those legends on SmackDown. So both of them have a massive boost in momentum leading up to this match. So this is where they put everything on the line, everything that they've learned this past month, everything they learned from that massive match against those legends. This is where it counts. Of course, when you talk about power, the Primetime Players, they have power on their side, and they made use of that against the tag team champions. Of course, Colin Cassidy has power, but because his partner Enzo Amore did not want to be left behind, he's the one who decided to do most of the work for the team, which led the Primetime Players weakening Enzo Amore a lot before Colin Cassidy could get a chance in the ring to fight back for the team, giving the champions, some hope that they can take out the Primetime Players. And you'd expect the champions to have taken notes from what happened at the NXT special the day before. The NXT Tag Team Champions, Rhino and Baron Corbin, they were defeated by Tyler Breeze and the Brian Kendrick. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, former NXT champions in this series, of course, they took notice, they watched that special, and they found, and they studied that match, realizing that Tyler Breeze and the Brian Kendrick, they took advantage of Rhino, the big guy, in that match and softened him up, weakening him, giving the champions less of an edge against them. And by the time Baron Corbin wanted to get involved for the team, it was too late. It was a walk in the park for Tyler Breeze and Brian Kendrick, and Enzo Amore and Big Cass. They wanted to avoid that at all costs, because power-wise, the Primetime Players, they have the power in the form of Titus O'Neil, and unfortunately for them, the Primetime Players would take advantage of Enzo Amore, who they felt was the weakest link in this match. They softened him up, leading up to Titus O'Neil bringing Enzo down with the clash of the Titus. Cassidy, he would not stand by and watch his teammate get pinned. He gets into the ring, bringing Titus down with a running big boot, going after Darren Young, making sure he doesn't get involved in this match. But Cassidy has to work fast. He gets his partner back to their corner. He tags himself in to make him the legal man, going after Titus. He's built up the momentum he's been building up, waiting for his chance to get back again into the ring to fight for the team. He brings it all now when it's crucial, bringing Titus down with the East Side crossing. And one more for Darren Young, who comes back into the ring, hoping to save Titus O'Neil for a second time. He's taken down by Big Cass, but Enzo, not wanting to be left behind, he tags himself in, and he's looking for that big splash on Titus. He nails it, gets the cover, and secures the championship. The champions, they retain the titles after a hard-fought match against the former champions, the Primetime Players, who wanted to give the champions a reality check that perhaps their win at WrestleMania was a fluke, and this was where they had to bring it or lose it. But there were no hard feelings between these guys. They've been around each other for the past month leading up to this match. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, they fought for this victory. They earned it, and they've earned the respect of the Primetime Players. They celebrate together, ladies and gentlemen. You can imagine The crowd as well, they do the millions of dollars dance, and not only that, they spell out soft. You know how it is, SAWFT, with the primetime players. There you have it, Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. They retain the championship. What is the way forward for them now? Which team will step up to challenge them? Will another Legends team step up and challenge them? Or will a new breed team, a new age team come up against them? We'll find out, hopefully, on Monday Night Raw, or as we move forward to the next pay-per-view. But right now, we move on to the next match. This is the final in that best of 5 series for the United States Championship. The champion Ryback defending the title against Stone Cold Steve Austin in a last man standing match. Now this works perfectly for the Texas Rattlesnake Stone Cold because there are no disqualifications, no countouts. Just knocking out your opponent until they're unable to respond to the ref's 10 count. This is his environment. This is where he is most dangerous. And Ryback would have to step up if he's going to have a shot at taking out the Texas Rattlesnake. Ryback, no stranger to last man standing matches, drawing back to past experience. He would need that in this match. The fighters don't last very long in the ring. They take their fight outside to the ringside area, fist flying everywhere. It doesn't take long as well for them to start making use of anything and everything they can get their hands on, because everything plays a factor in this match. If you're going to knock out your opponent, you've got to use everything at your disposal, even stuff from the crowd. Steve Austin making use of a couple of glasses and bottles that he finds from the crowd, knocking them over Ryback's head, busting him open in the process, but the big guy is not going down. He fights back. He gets hold of bottles and glasses as well from the crowd, busting Steve Austin open as well. But the Rattlesnake, he's not going to stay down for long. Chairs, kendo sticks, they come into play as well. Steel steps playing a factor in this match as well. Both of these guys, they go down, they get counted, but they don't last more than 7 seconds each. But as the match draws on, they start staying down a little bit longer. They're wearing each other out. They're bringing everything. They've got Steve Austin gets the chance to hit Stone Cold Stunner on the champion Ryback. He goes down, but he gets back up at 9.5, shocking Steve Austin because he thought that would be it. He'd been waiting for his opportunity to lay the champion out with that stunner, but it wasn't enough. He decides he's going to hit a second stunner, this time on top of the remaining announce table, of course, the Spanish announce table taken out in the previous match. A second stunner through this table should do it, but of course the champion, he took the time to recover. He's ready. Instead, fights off Steve Austin, picking him up and dropping him through that remaining table with the shell-shocked. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Austin down through that table via shell-shocked. The ref counts, gets to 9, gets to 9.5. Steve Austin, he works his way up. Ryback, surprised as well. That didn't work on the Texas Rattlesnake. What else can he go for? Another shell-shocked? No. He goes to the ring. He grabs not just one table, but 2. He lays them out by ringside. He gets the Texas Rattlesnake, battles him off the table and onto those other 2 tables. By this time, the Rattlesnake is spent. He can't really fight back. Ryback picks him up, lays him out on those 2 tables, gets in the ring, climbs to the top turnbuckle. He's looking for that big splash, ladies and gentlemen. Ryback leaping off that top turnbuckle, coming down on Steve Austin through those 2 tables. Both men down now. The ref, after checking both of them out, he starts the count. Who could possibly recover after that massive move from Ryback through 2 tables. Ladies and gentlemen, the ref, he reaches 5, no sign. Gets to 6, there's no sign. Gets to 7, no sign. Gets to 8, the champion and Steve Austin, they start to stir. 8.5, both men on their elbows now, trying to fight each other off. Ref gets to 9. Steve Austin has the advantage over Ryback. 9.5, the champion trying to fight back. Steve Austin, he drops. Ryback remains up, and the ref gets to 10 and announces the winner. The champion, Ryback, survives hell and back to retain the U.S. title, having just defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin in the hardest match he's had in recent years. That 60-minute Iron Man match couldn't compare to this one. They went all out with everything they've got because the championship matters that much to them. Ryback making a huge statement, defeating Steve Austin in a hard-fought last man standing match. There were no losers at the end of this match. Steve Austin gave him a fight. Both of them bruised and busted open. It's a clear sign that there was no holding back in this match. They had to bring their A game and then some. And Ryback, he survived, proving to Steve Austin that he belongs in the United States title picture. He deserves to be champion. He's earned it. He's fought for it. He can join all those great United States champions who've held the title, Steve Austin being one of them, and Ryback being the current champion. Ryback retains, and this, ladies and gentlemen, prepares us for the main event.